Good morning, everyone. Hope all of you are fine, right? Let us today now start with a new concept, that is oxidation number, about which you have not done in previous classes. What is oxidation number? What is oxidation number? It is defined as charge on an atom in a molecule. It is defined as the charge on an atom in a compound or ion assigned on the basis of some rules. Now this part is very important. For oxidation number, we have certain rules, and keeping those rules in mind, we have to calculate the oxidation number, that is charge on an atom in a molecule or ion, that means in combined state or free state. Okay, now rules for assigning oxidation number. What are rules for assigning oxidation number? Number 1. Elements in the free state have oxidation number 0. What is meant by free state? Free state means uncombined state. That means H2, O2. Now here it is a diatomic molecule, but hydrogen is not combining with any other element. So if they are not combining with any other element, but they are combining with another atom of its own type, then it is said to be free state. And in such molecules, the oxidation number of the element is 0. Second is oxidation number of a monoatomic ion is equal to charge on the ion. Okay, for example, in potassium ion it is K plus, so the oxidation number of potassium here is +1. In case of calcium it will be +2, and in case of chloride ion Cl minus, it will be -1. Next we have is hydrogen is assigned oxidation number +1 except in hydrides. Now as we know, hydrogen has a tendency to lose one electron. It is always going to be +1, but since it has one electron in the first energy level, it can also accept one electron, and when it will accept one electron, then the charge on it will be -1. But this is the case only when it combines with a more electropositive element. That means any other element which is going to give it one electron, that is sodium and potassium and magnesiums. Okay, that is alkali and alkaline earth metals. So example is sodium hydride. Here sodium is +1, hydrogen is -1. So sodium will lose one electron, hydrogen will accept, and in such cases, in hydrides, the oxidation number of the of hydrogen is -1. Then oxidation is oxidation number is assigned. Oxygen, it should be oxygen. Oxygen is assigned oxidation number -2 except in peroxides, where it is -1, and superoxides it is -1/2. Now what is peroxide? This you have to remember. A peroxide means any compound which has got oxygen to oxygen linkage. This oxygen to oxygen bond, this is known as peroxide linkage. For example, hydrogen peroxide, if we have H2O2, it will be oxygen, oxygen, hydrogen and hydrogen. This linkage is known as peroxide linkage. Okay, now here as we know, hydrogen and oxygen bond is polar. Hydrogen will have +1 charge and oxygen will have -1. Here also oxygen will have -1 and +1, but here polarity is 0, so there will be no charge due to oxygen-oxygen bond. So in peroxides it is -1. Then in case of superoxides, now what are superoxides? Like we have NaO2. Now sodium is +1 and this whole thing is -1. There are two atoms, and oxidation number is always calculated for one atom. It is charge on an atom. An atom means one atom. Now two atoms are having charge -1, so two are having -1 charge. Therefore one will have -1/2. So this will be the oxidation number of oxygen in superoxides. KO2 and NaO2. Next is fluorine has oxidation number. Fluorine is the most electronegative element known. Therefore, fluorine has oxidation number -1 except in HOF, in which it is +1. Then also halogens in general have oxidation number -1 because they have 7 electrons in the valence shell and have a very strong tendency to accept 1 electron. So they will always have charge -1 and they are highly electronegative except in interhalogen compounds. Now what are interhalogen? There are compounds which are formed between halogen atoms also, like iodine and fluorine, IF7, ClF3, ClF5, okay, BrF3. So these are known as interhalogen. Two halogens are forming. Now here it is, the more electronegative halogen is going to have a negative charge and the less electronegative element will have positive charge. So here fluorine is more electronegative than iodine. So each atom of fluorine will have -1 charge, therefore 7 atoms will have -7 charge, and iodine will have +7 because there is no charge on the compound and the total charge is 0. So this is also a rule that you have got +7, okay, and -7, that will be equal to 0, okay. That is why the charge on iodine here is going to be +7. Then we have the oxidation number of alkali metals is +1 and alkaline earth metals is +2 in all of their compounds, okay. The oxidation number of alkali metals is +1 and alkaline earth metals is +2 in all their compounds, okay. The total oxidation number of all the atoms in a neutral compound is 0. I just now explained it to you. Like if you have IF7, I have explained. So fluorine, each atom will be -1. So total charge for 7 atoms will be -7 and iodine will be +7 and the total charge will be 0. If an ion, in an ion, the algebraic sum is equal to charge on the ion. For example, if you have carbonate ion, right? If we have carbonate ion, CO3, 2-, right? Now I will teach you also how to calculate. Suppose carbon, I don't know the oxidation number. How to calculate this? So I will put here, I will take carbon as X. Oxygen, each atom will be -2. Okay, -2 into 3 is -6 is equal to -2. Or X is equal to +6 -2. Bring it this side. This is equal to +4. Okay, so here this is going to be +4. So let us see, +4 and -6 is equal to -2. Is this correct? Okay, so whatever is the charge, if there is no charge, suppose it is calcium carbonate, then here we will take X and suppose I have to calculate, for carbon. So it is going to be X, right? +2 for calcium plus X for carbon -6 because each oxygen is -2 into 3 -6. This will be equal to 0. So X will be equal to, bring it this side, +6 -2, that is equal to +4. So like this we calculate. Here if there is no charge, then this will be equal to 0, and here if there is a charge, then this will be equal to the charge on the ion, okay. Alright, then next is oxidation number of an atom may or may not be the same as valency. Now if I will remind you, what is valency? Valency is the combining capacity of an atom. That means how many electrons it can lose, gain or share. But once it loses, gains or shares, that means it forms a covalent bond or a coordinate bond, the resultant charge on an atom in that compound will be known as oxidation number or oxidation state. Okay, for example, I'll give you, valency can never be in fractions. For a simple reason, electron cannot be lost, gained or shared in fraction. But oxidation state can be in fraction because if there are 2 or 3 carbon atoms or 2 or 3 oxygen atoms in a compound, it is not necessary that all of them will have the same oxidation number. We will then take the average of all the oxidation numbers. Okay. Now oxidation state cannot be in fraction or zero. Okay. Example. Okay, I have used another term, oxidation state. There is a difference between valency and oxidation number. There is also difference between oxidation state and oxidation number. Okay, oxidation state and oxidation number. Oxidation state cannot be in fraction or in zero, whereas oxidation number can be in fraction or in zero. Example in Pb3O4, right? In Pb3O4, let us see if we calculate the average. Now we have to take out oxidation number of lead. Let's take it as X. So this will become 3X, right? 3X, and each oxygen is minus 2. Minus 2 into 4 is minus 8. So 3X minus 8 is equal to 0. Okay. So 3X is equal to, bring it this side, plus 8, or X is equal to plus 8 by 3. So we have got the value in fraction. We have calculated this oxidation number. We will not call it oxidation state, because oxidation state cannot have value in fraction. Okay. Whereas oxidation state is plus 2 and plus 4. Now what is this? Oxidation state is plus 2 and plus 4. We all know lead shows variable valency. Okay. Now if it is 2 PbO, we write it here. If it is 2 PbO and PbO2, together it will be what? 2 and 1, 3. So the formula becomes Pb3O4. This is the formula. But we write it, break it up like this. The two lead atoms will have different oxidation states. See how? Here it is minus 2, and here we don't take this 2. This is not taken into account. This is minus 2, so this lead is going to be plus 2. This is minus 2 into 2, minus 4, so this will be plus 4. So the oxidation states will be plus 2 and plus 4. But when we calculate oxidation number, we take both of them as X. We take both of them as X. That is why we are getting it as plus 8 by 3. Is that clear? Plus 8 by 3, because there are 3. What are there? 1, 2 lead atoms and 1, 3 lead atoms. Right? And 8 is the total charge. It is shared between 3 atoms. That is, we are calculating the average value. Okay. So when we take oxidation number, we take for every element we are taking it as X. But actually it is not like that. The two of them, they are combining with different valencies with oxygen. Is that clear? Therefore the oxidation state will be different. I will give you another example. We have a CrO5. This is a typical example. Now in CrO5, what will be the oxidation number of chromium? Right? In CrO5. Now oxygen is minus 2 into 5 minus 10. And for chromium we will take it as X. This will be equal to charge is 0. Therefore X will be equal to plus 10. Right? That means oxidation number of chromium is plus 10. But oxidation state of chromium cannot be above plus 6. Let us see how. If we have this compound, Cr and O5, the structure is this. Okay, the structure is this. See these two bonds. Here the charge will be minus 2 for this oxygen. Okay, it is sharing 2 electrons, minus 2. So the charge on chromium will be plus 2. Right? Oxygen will be minus 1, one bond only there, minus 1. So this will be plus 1. So plus 2 and plus 1, plus 3. Here also minus 1, plus 1, plus 4. Here minus 1, plus 1, plus 5. And here it will be plus 6. So total charge we are getting is plus 6. What about this bond? There will be no charge because there is no electronegativity difference. This bond is known as peroxide bond. Okay, that is why I said for oxygen in a peroxide bond the oxidation number is -1. Is that okay? So this is what we are talking about, and this is what I have told you for CrO5. This is known as butterfly structure. You can see this is the wings of butterfly and these are the feelers, right? This is wings of butterfly. This is butterfly structure. Alright, now I can say that for calculating oxidation state, the structure of the compound should be taken into account. It is a more reliable method for calculation of oxidation state. One more example is mercury 1 chloride. You must have seen like this written. You will come across a number of places where in class 11 and 12 books it is written like this: mercury 1 chloride. We will write it as Hg2Cl2. -1 is the oxidation number of chlorine and +1 is for mercury. Okay, so that is why it is written as in the brackets as 1. But mercury also shows oxidation state of +2 and the formula becomes mercury 2 chloride. It is Hg2Cl2. Okay, now this is known as stock notation. Writing the formula like this, that means oxidation state is written in Roman numeral in bracket. Oxidation state is written in Roman numeral in brackets. This is known as stock notation because it was given by the German chemist Alfred Stock. Alright, now I think this is all what we have for today, and please go through this video, and whatever is the problem we will discuss in next online class.